All right, welcome back to Sunrise Daily. As you've seen, Mr. Silas joins us next. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning, Chamberlain. Good morning, Gela. Long time.
I wonder what parties think about all of these tax matters. I think they're just watching and trying to see, or this one rises above that kind of party politics. Is that the way you see it?
Well, the tax matter, I think, is mostly an individual opinion issue. Parties have not, in any case, all of our political parties are not really ideology-based. So it is the individual that
so it's individual-based.
What's his interest. Or regional, states, because you can see that the resistance is mostly regional and maybe state-based. And for me, I think it's because there was no proper education. The tax reform is good, but people have not been properly educated about it. And then there are a lot of fears from certain states. Sure. But if you look at the tax reform, you see that the states are even afraid, are the ones going to benefit more.
Let me ask you, is there anything in this country that is about to happen that people have, quote unquote, been well educated about?
Well, there is, first of all, no trust in Nigeria. Nobody trusts the other, right? The North doesn't trust the South doesn't trust the North. So we are yet to form a nation. We are still a union of regionally interested nations. People are more loyal to their regions than to the nation. So we are not yet a nation, and we are not, it seems like we're not interested in forging one.
But when you say states that are even, quote unquote, afraid are the ones that will benefit more, it raises a lot of questions as to the people who we have in states who are running the affairs of state in terms of at the executive level, National Assembly level, at least those two first of all, or maybe even the local government area. They all seem to be in bed with against, on the one side, against the people.
How many of our politicians do any research? Those in office. We just have people who want to be in office for the money they are making from these offices, not because they have ideas. If we have people with ideas to run our states and our government in general, this tax reform is an opportunity to make your state rich. That is just the truth. But we have people who just want to plug the fruit. They don't want to till the ground. They just want to plug the fruit. So you don't have leaders in Nigeria as we speak today. We don't have leaders. We have opportunists everywhere. These are opportunistic people just occupying public offices.
I want to go to your region, which is the Southeast.
Yes.
Because, you know, the governors are forming caucuses. We're seeing all the senators from one region or the other saying what they feel and what impact it will have on their regions or in their states. Let's talk a little bit about the Southeast. In your view, because I know you ran for senator in your Ebonyi state. So let's talk about the Southeast. In what ways, really, can these tax bills impact governance and the people of the Southeast, perhaps?
Let me give you an example. You look at the current tax returns from states. You will see that Imo State is among the 10 least tax least states that return tax. Imo State is large. Imo State has a large economy, larger than Ebonyi State. So what makes Imo return less tax than Ebonyi State is the politics of feeling, why should we generate tax and another person will benefit from it?
Really? That's what happens?
That is the kind of politics every state in Nigeria just want to get because of the sharing formula. You just want to sit down and get money. So that aspect of derivation will drive states to increase and improve their tax revenue.
So you think that if this changes, there are states that will now genuinely just quickly hit the ground running?
Of course, every state, because now tax will be consumption-based, not really production-based per se. You pay as per consumption, right? So you need to now strengthen your citizens so that they can be stronger consumers, so that they can buy stuffs in your state.
And besides, if you consume, you make more money for yourself.
Yes.
So if you don't make
the money revolves in your state. If there is consumption, consumption drives production. So if there is consumption of a particular product in a state, you find that people will likely come and situate their companies in that state to produce more. so that they too can cut the cost of their production, transportation, and all of that.
Wait a minute. Do you guys think that this may eventually stop all of those chaps who will always say, go to your state, go to your state?
Yes, it will stop.
I mean, if your state was viable. I mean, you mentioned Imo State.
Yes.
Let's talk about Anambra and Abia.
These are rich states.
Yes, yeah, these are rich states.
But you find that they don't return much in tax because there is no political or economic need for it, right? Whether you generate it locally or not, there is a sharing formula that will bring money to you. All you need to do is to inflate your population number. You get something.
So maybe they will stop. Wait. But do you think that may also give them reason to think twice, inflating numbers? Because now, if you inflate your numbers, it doesn't reflect in your tax.
You will just have to sit up and govern the number of people you have in your state. If numbers doesn't give you any advantage, you sit up and govern. Whether you have 10 or 1 million,
but they still will give them political advantage.
Well, if that one changes, which is the main issue, INEC, if INEC improves, as FIRS, if INEC improves, also we will now see that perhaps Nigeria is not as large as we think we are, population-wise.
Well, state politics.
Yes.
Suspension or no suspension, court case or no court case.
Yes.
What's going on with the National Vice Chairman Southeast?
Former.
Oh, former.
Yes, we don't have a National Vice Chairman in Southeast now. What happened was that the man has been a single bundle of problem for PDP, not just in Ebonyi State, but in the Southeast generally.
Why?
They call him Mr. Ali Odefa. Go and check the performance of PDP in the Southeast in 2023 election. When you have a national vice chairman in charge of a region that is creating internal problems,
why would he
for his own party? Do you know how much he charged people who were running election in 2023 general election? People who came because he tried to now make screening, party made screening for governorship and senate regional. I know that Senator Eina Baribe, who was going for screening, refused to pay the kind of charges they were asked to pay, because the chairman of the screening committee for Southeast was my very good friend. He's late now, Professor Dankofa, may so rest in peace. And the man also complained and said, this your vice chairman is creating problem. He has put so much fee for people to pay in the Southeast, and they are not paying. Abaribe complained, a lot of people, and I told them don't pay. But at the end of the day, those who wanted to pay, paid. So it was about money making for Ali Odefa.
But he was also accused of anti-party activities. Which anti-party activities?
Personally, I will use myself as an example. When I ran for Senate, he worked against me. He worked against the governorship candidate in 2023.
In what ways?
He openly campaigned against, in fact, he instituted, he sponsored more than 5 cases against the governorship candidate. And then we were busy defending cases instead of campaigning, right? Then in my own election, you say you are vice chairman Southeast. I'm running an election. You are the one now going around telling people that it is Governor Umahi that is sponsoring me to come and destroy the party. How can my being a senator destroy the party? You get the point? Going around, even when the election was over, I didn't want to go to court because of the state of the judiciary. But he had gone to even NWC platform. What do you mean state of the judiciary? I will get, it's a different issue. I made a statement. There. Yeah. It's a different issue. I didn't want to go to court, but the party said you have to go to court, so I went. And I'm disappointed. That's just the truth. But let's leave that one. It's an issue for another day. He went on the platform of the NWC and posted that I have finished my job. Since I said I'm not going to court, the money they paid me is to make sure PDP doesn't have a candidate. I wrote a complaint to the acting national chairman. That complaint is still gathering dust till today. Nothing has been done about it. I made a complaint to his ward leadership, and they looked at it and suspended him for anti-party. So that's where many other issues started. Many other issues, anti-party, even in his ward. They suspended him, and an action commenced against him in the Ebonyi State High Court to remove him as because If there is a suspension, you can't go ahead parading yourself as a national officer. And then our leader, the former governorship candidate, intervened and said, no, leave him for now. And then we left that case. He continued creating problems for the congresses in Ebonyi State. Ebonyi does not have congress. Abia, Anambra, these 3 states, we have just 5 states in the southeast. Abia is in court, Anambra is in court. Ebonyi just got judgment, and another judgment that removed him, right?
Affirming his suspension.
Yes, the man is just creating problem everywhere.
Have you thought about Mr. Ono, the PDP in the southeast?
Yes.
Because it's very informative, this last statement that you made.
Yes, yes.
With all these wranglings,
yes.
How many PDP governors do you have in the southeast?
Right now we have one.
One PDP governor. And the other one is LP from Abia.
Yes. No. LP Abia, yes. Abuga in Anambra. Then APC in Imo and Ebonyi. Yes.
So have you thought about the impact these internal wranglings are having on your prospects to have more governors from the PDP
let me tell you,
in the
that is why it is a good thing that Mr. Ali Odefa is no longer there. You will see that PDP will now resuscitate. He wasn't doing this alone. He was in this...
But this is suspension, not expulsion.
Let him, he will be expelled. The party, we've just been waiting for suspension. You know, there are processes. If he doesn't respond to the complaint against him, of course we'll expel him. You know, he has the backing of the acting national chairman to be doing this, because together, and the national organizing secretary, together with the national secretary, they have disobeyed virtually every court order that said, don't do Congress in Nasarawa, don't do Congress in Benue, don't do Congress in Kano, don't do Congress in Rivers, don't do Congress in Ebonyi, don't do Congress in Abia, don't do Congress in Anambra. They disobeyed all and went on to do Congresses. Now, as I speak to you, we are going to jail these people because we have commenced contempt proceedings against them. They've been served in Ebonyi State.
You seem to know the way the judgments will go.
We will not stop. No, it's not. Contempt proceeding is not judgment per se. The court have said, don't do this. And you went on to do it in disobedience. And we have gone to the court to say, they have disobeyed you by doing what you said they shouldn't do. And you issue Form 48, Form 49, and then you serve them process to come to court and explain why they should not be jailed for disobeying the court.
Well, let's not preempt the cost then.
So, no, they have already committed. This is a criminal trial. It's not civil.
I want you to get your response to that question I asked about the PDP in the southeast and what all of this means for the future of the party.
With him out.
Other parties are consolidating, Mr. Ono. They are trying to sort out their internal wranglings. Let's get ready for 2027. You have just one governor. In the southeast, and then the representation. This is part of.
Yes, by cutting the head of the snakes. Ali Odefa is a problem. We've removed him. Now you will see that before middle 2025, a lot of PDP in the southeast will get the needed stability.
Even though some members, don't forget that members in the National Assembly are just defecting to the APC. From Labour Party to members,
we saw that
they defected to the APC.
Well, you see, a lot of people, it's unfortunate, a lot of people that ran under Labour Party are actually members of APC or APC sympathizers.
No, members of PDP.
Let me get you there. Who didn't get ticket in APC? The ones I know. They didn't get ticket in APC, and then they saw an opportunity, especially in the southeast, with the Peter Obi wind that was sweeping across. So they quickly took that ticket, joined the party, won the election, and even before they started joining the APC, they have always been in bed with APC. Labour is just a platform. They've always been APC. Many of them are APC. So I don't get surprised when they jump or move. You see the one in Anambra too. May so rest in peace, our brother and Uba.
But what does this mean for the governor, though? Because if he's left in the lurch, will he not say, look, well, won't he jump ship?
Abia governor who? No. For the governor, I doubt if he has ever been a APC person. He has always been Zenith Labour Party and all of that. So he is a foundation member kind of the Labour Party. So I would not count him among those who...
No. I'm saying that if members like that keep leaving the party in the National Assembly, I don't
think Labour Party is divided at the national level to ground the defection that people are taking advantage of. The fact that they have small leadership crisis does not amount to division. So the governor can get people from the constituency of this federal representative to file action against him to lose his seat. That is what the law said.
Let's talk a little bit about PDP on the national level.
Yes.
We saw from the Vanguard this morning, the Board of Trustees are declaring a shift in the NEC meeting again, and everyone is talking about the internal wranglings and the issues with the PDP, even on a national scale, which is very interesting because we are in 2024.
Yeah.
And then we are trying to see how, elections and parties are getting together, like I said, consolidating, fixing things so that they can wrestle power away from the All Progressives Congress in the next election. Tell me, what are your thinking processes about PDP on a national scale and these issues that keep making front page news?
Well, like I said, when a party is a major opposition party and are determined to sell the party negatively, the leadership, by disobeying court orders, you're telling Nigerians that you're going to be worse than APC when you form government. That is what the current leadership of the party are doing. So they are serving more or less as undertakers. They want to kill and bury the PDP.
Who's they?
The leadership, the acting national chairman and his team. Not all the members of the NWC. We know those, the chairman, secretary, NOS, National Organizing Secretary. These are the major ones, the MVC, Southwest, and then this one that we have kicked out from Southeast, who is primarily working for Sheyi Makinde. These are all the people who are positioned and poised to kill PDP. And then you say you want to run for president. And then you are encouraging people to destroy the party. What platform do you now want to use?
Is that not what PDP used to do when they were at the center?
Which one?
Killing other political parties, causing crisis
I'm talking of
in
PDP.
other political parties.
I'm not against other politicians from other party trying to undermine your party. It's politics. But I'm against those within the party lending themselves as tools and then actively also working to please the other parties by killing their own party. So now all this postponement of NEC is to shift the evil day where this man is supposed to go back to his office as deputy national chairman now.
So are you blaming all BOT members? All BOT members and NEC themselves who have said we have to move this?
No, BOT you should understand. The BOT, the chairman of BOT and the NWC, I think they have some points of divergence. The Congress in Abia was mostly targeted against the BOT chairman's interests, so that they went against court order to undermine the BOT chairman, right? That is their own crisis. Now, if BOT, NWC, everybody say we must shift Congress, perhaps is to give room for a better planning. Because remember the last date that governors and everybody met and changed the date for Congress, for NEC, it was agreed that the North Central should go and get their act together and nominate who will become the national chairman. They haven't done that. We don't know what is happening. From the feelers we get, the Plateau State governor is frustrating it. We don't know why. The Plateau State governor will be frustrating his own region from producing someone that will become...
Which could also be speculation.
Party. Well,
because he will always come about
there are no
Can anybody prove anything?
Chamberlain, thank God this is not this is politics, so it's not an issue that somebody will go and bring police and say the criminal defamation or whatever. Now,
even though you recently spoke about the judiciary, what is your grounds with the judiciary?
If I even criticize the judiciary, it's still a fair comment because it's an institution.
What is your
grounds? It's an institution. No, come on, we all know our judiciary is not working right now, especially in political cases. Political cases, they just come to put up shows. And then when they tell you go to court, my brother, don't listen to them. Don't waste your time. Go to court.
But you've been going to court.
Yes, I went to court and the tribunal and court of appeal behave like I'm wasting their time.
But this one, the
like,
court upheld...
Why did you come? Why did you come?
No, but in one breath, you were saying, we will jail them. We will do this. You were happy with those cases. You're happy with
suspension. This is not an election petition.
No, but you're happy with Ali Odefa's. This is politics.
Yeah, but it's not an election petition. This is regular court.
Oh, it has to do with specific election petition.
Yes. Let me tell you something. This is regular court. And in most cases, you just have to look at the judge before whom you appear because he sits alone. In a regular court, if your case is sent to a good judge, you get good judgment. If you are not lucky, you go to a politician judge. There are a lot of judges that are more political than us.
Politician judge.
They know politics and they play it more than us. A lot of these judges you see, they will just be doing like this. They will just carry your case and just do one acrobat. They will throw you off board. So, but you see, election petition where they set up panels, three people. It's just an opportunity to come and chop. That's all they do. They don't go there to do any justice.
Ayo, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm not thinking what you're
like
thinking
I was
yet.
saying, and the issue
but let me just stick with what. Just a second. Just a second. So let me just piggyback on something that you just said now. When you say that the judges are also political, isn't that in a way tainting the judiciary and saying to people listening to you right now that the judiciary cannot be trusted and that you can't get justice from the judiciary?
Well, like I said, in election cases, I didn't get justice from the judiciary, so I speak for myself. And I've also been a member of 2 presidential election petition teams. And I do not think that in those 2 presidential election petitions there was justice. There was mostly convenience, not justice. And like I said, this is in election cases. We need a lot of
even
reform.
at that, anyone listening to you right now, one second, Mr. Onu, anyone listening to you right now, just a second, anyone listening to you right now will say that, look, if it can happen in election cases, and it can happen in civil matters, it can happen in land cases, it can happen in human rights cases, it can happen in any case, so long as they have interest. That's essentially what you're saying. You are literally impugning the judiciary.
It does happen. It's not an issue of impugning anybody. When you say the truth, it's not the proper word to say impugn. When you say the word, you're not impugning, you're saying the truth. It happens in virtually all aspects of judiciary, but the difference is the degree of prevalence of injustice. In election,
there are those who are listening to you right now.
100%.
Yeah, those listening to you right now, Mr. Onu, would say, okay, you are only saying this because you didn't, the judgment didn't go your way. It went the other way. That if it had gone your way, you would probably say you got justice.
No. Ayo, I have always been in this part, even before my election petition. And like I said in the opening, that I didn't even want to go to court because of the state of the judiciary. I still have my statements that I released on the day the election I ran for was declared. I still have that statement, right? The election petition courts in Nigeria are just set up to waste your time. I give you an example with the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly tribunals. One person set up the tribunal, one person set up the appeal. The president of the Court of Appeal will set up the election petition tribunal to hear your case in its original form. And then the same president of the Court of Appeal will set up the appellate tribunal to hear the appeal emanating from the tribunal. So if the president doesn't like you, tell me how you are going to win anything. Is there a foundation for justice? Because apparently you're going before the same person twice. Well, the president decides those who are in the tribunal, the president decides those who are on the appellate panel. You're going before the same person twice, so what are you actually appealing?
Thankfully, you are in the judiciary, you operate in that space as well.
Impugning. Yes, the judiciary, let me learn, Ayo. Okay. The judiciary belongs to us. It is a public institution. We must say it when they are wrong and say it boldly. They are wrong right now. They are moving in. They are taking Nigeria in the wrong direction when it comes to election petition cases.
Okay, let me just ask you one last question before
let me take you.
This up.
Even
we don't have much time. Maybe if you want to call it, you may want to call it a symposium on this. But let me just ask you this one question about the PDP. There are those who are wondering, hey, the PDP has lost its bearing because it is not performing the job of the lead opposition party in the country. And then there are people who are jumping ship from your party to other political parties, and all of that is happening. And then there are those who are wondering, look, I don't like this political party, but that political party is also not any much different. You started by saying that political parties in Nigeria don't have ideologies. So are we doomed? Where do we go from here?
Well, the PDP would have been able to play its role as a major opposition party if we have the kind of leadership that is needed for that. Currently, the acting national chairman is not interested in leading an opposition party. He's only interested in being acting national chairman. That's all. Then every once in a while, when there are issues that are not too heated, he will now say one thing, not to offend the government, you know? So we don't have a leadership that can lead us as an opposition party right now.
All right.
And sadly, the man is even orchestrating to succeed himself by next year when we will do our national convention, so that he will be president and chairman again from 2025 to finally bury PDP.
It's politics, like you always say. So this is all part of the game, the name of the game, politics. So we'll all be here watching all of you. How you're doing your thing.
We're watching all of you.
What they do. So thank you for coming on, Silas Ono. But we do have some messages. Let's see if we could take one or two. Law Alpha says, if the tax reform bill is targeted against the wealthy in society to enable them properly taxed, one is bound to worry if this step won't dovetail into high cost of goods and services because the taxpayers have to make profit.
He also goes on to say this one. It says it's germane for Nigerians not to hide under the cloak of freedom of speech law to defame and malign individuals and even leaders doing their best to improve the lot of our country, Nigeria. We should be able to draw a line between genuine criticism and envy.
Well, Festus Akiboyewa has this one on its own front, on its own, says, Mr. Michael Oshedeke, well, I'm not sure that's his name, Professor Shedeke, and as we should start looking for alternative sources of funding. By now, universities, Nigerian universities, should be self-funded and not dependent on government or TET fund. My son started uni in UK this year, and the tuition fee alone is £9,250 per year. His brother paid £3,000 per year just 10 years ago. Uni is not free in UK. It's certainly not free in USA. Uni students in Nigeria should embrace the student loan and not waste valuable time protesting. By the way, Professor Shedeke needs to know that most uni lecturers in UK are paid per lecture. Many of them are quitting. Uni education cannot be run on the cheap. Fact, he says.
Let's take this one also from Professor Enakena. He says, ASU, as a concerned stakeholder, I firmly believe that transparency and objectivity are essential for promoting accountability, good governance, and public trust in policy making. So this bill should be deliberated extensively, again, by the affected parties, including the public, so that the bill be re-presented to the National Assembly for further consideration before being passed into law.
Okay, we hear you all. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. I'm Chain Button, so goodbye, everybody.
Have a great weekend ahead. I'm Kayla Megwa.
Ayo, Makinde. Have a wonderful one.